The following bowling sports presentation is brought to you by Jack Snodgrass Distributing for the real taste of beer, Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer, and by all the fine people from Value City Furniture in the Latonia Plaza in Latonia, Kentucky. Week 5 of the Northern Kentucky BPA Merit Tournament at Dixie Lanes in Covington. Hi, I'm Nick Banjo along with Doug Martin. And Doug, like I said, we're at Dixie Lanes this week, and we're under new ownership here. John Combs and Debbie Combs have taken over the place. And how important is that to come in to the first year and make all the changes?
Well, it's tough being a new proprietor. I know I was one about 13 years ago, and it is a new experience. John, I think, is doing a real fine job. He and his family have been into bowling for several years, and they took over here almost a year ago, and I can see they've done a lot of fixing up around here, and so we wish him all the best of luck.
Well, John certainly worked real hard on Dixie Lanes. Today on the program, we got 3 experienced ladies, if that's okay to say. They've been on the program before, and we got old Chris Trinkamp coming back to try to win him a title. We're at Dixie Lanes in Covington. We'll be back with our first match right after this. Kentucky BPA Merit Tournament. You're looking at Sandi Sexton.
And next she went Brooklyn, leaves a 5-8. She's a veteran on the program. She was on a couple weeks ago. But you still get a little bit of the TV jitters starting out.
Sandi's been on the program a couple times. She was on in 1984 on Walt Center Lane. She finished in 3rd place. And this year, she was over at LaRue and finished in 2nd place. She's certainly looking to climb up that ladder to the number 1 spot. Sandi Sexton, first frame, looking for the conversion.
And she's got it.
Now another veteran, Rosie Cornett. Rosie also, when I talked about experience at the beginning, Rosie also has the experience under her belt. At 84. See, these bowlers don't just bowl in 85, Doug. They get around. They bowl week after week, year after year. She was over at LaRue last year and came in 3rd place.
There she goes. She's in the pocket. Came in just a tad light. Leaves a 5-10. Ball just didn't drive through to get the 5-pin out.
In 1985, Rosie was on a program over week 3 at the Bowl Lounge. She finished in 3rd place there. So neither one of these ladies have won that big
see Rosie
title.
174 average and a 20 handicap. She goes 5-10, gets the 5, leaves a 10.
A little bit about Rosie. She's 38 years of age. She lives over in Union on Frogtown Road.
Good place.
I can't say I've been on Frogtown Road too many times.
Good place to be from. That's where I grew up, in that area in Union, Kentucky.
It hops over there.
Definitely.
And here's Rosie. That's the ball.
Yeah, she's got it. Mark it down, baby. Came a little light with that one, but switched them out.
Now Sandi Sexton in qualifying rolled a 243, 190, and 152 for a 585 scratch, plus handicap for 669. There's Sandi. Right there, mark it down, baby.
Excellent pitch.
They make it look so easy. Now Sandi lives over in Morningview. She's 36 years of age. There it was again in replay. What do you call it, Doug? Crushing them?
Yeah, she definitely crushed that one. Perfect pitch.
She pulled it.
Yeah, she did, Nick. She pulled that one again, as she did in the first frame. Leaves the 5-8.
Now for your ladies and men, the next week qualifier will be at the Bellwood Lanes. That's over in Bellevue, Kentucky. And also, the taping of the show next week will be at the Super Bowl.
And she picks it up. Rosie's got our rooting section here, her husband Poe and her children, Jason and Chris.
There's Rosie. Brooklyn.
And Rosie's got a 2-bagger.
Now Rosie, she's married, has 2 children, Chris and Jason. Doug already mentioned her husband Poe. There it is in replay, Doug.
There's replay. She pulled it Brooklyn right in the 1-2 pocket.
Rosie uses a 14-pound fingertip ball. It's a nice weight ball.
And she comes up just a little bit light again, leaves the 5-pin. She's having a little problem getting the ball to drive on the back end of the lane to get the 5 out.
Rosie bowls Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and every other Saturday at the Super Bowl.
She goes for the 5-pin. And she just barely missed it.
Some people were telling her to take her time.
We see a replay of it. Just barely missed the 5.
Open up the door so let that breeze in. Here's Sandi Sexton.
Let it roll. Yeah.
Sandy gets a break. She pulled that one again, Nick, but she pulled it enough to hit the head pin light enough to drive him out, and you got a break on the 5-pin. Here we see it, a replay. See the pin come back off the wall and take the 5 out.
That's why they put the walls there, for the pins to bounce off, not to keep the pins in the lane. They used to have pin boys to go chase them, so that was never a problem.
There we see it. Another Brooklyn hit, leaves the 9-pin. They're liking that Brooklyn side again this week, it looks like, Nick. That's versus the Kalamazoo side.
Right.
As we had a discussion about last week.
So, Sandi for the conversion. Watch out.
And she just barely missed it.
So we're halfway through our first women's match here at Dixie Lanes in Covington. We'll be back to conclusion right after this. Degree day on a nice Sunday morning. Rosie Cornett, Brooklyn.
Yeah, there we see Rosie going Brooklyn, also leaving the 9-pin.
Doug, we're gonna do something different. The proprietors and the store people sat down this week and we came up with an idea for a little thing for the viewer. What are we going to do, Doug? Tell them about it.
Well, here we see Rosie going for the 9. Picks it up. Nick, what we're going to start is a Viewer of the Week who will be announced on the show each week. And the winner will receive a gift certificate worth $25 at one of the pro shops in the Northern Kentucky area. This week, the $25 gift certificate is courtesy of Waltz Center Lanes Pro Shop in Newport Shopping Center. And we encourage everyone to send a card in. And everyone that's viewing the show, please send a card in. Your name may be picked next week. Here we see Rosie came just a little bit heavy that time, leaves a 4-7. So I think if Ronnie's listening in the truck, he'll flash an address up here. But send the cards in. We will pick one on the air next week. The winner will receive a $25 gift certificate at Waltz Center Lanes Pro Shop.
There's Rosie for the conversion, right on it.
Picks it up.
But with the Viewer of the Week thing, Doug, we're not going to ask any questions or anything like that. I'm going to sit here, drink my orange juice, and draw a winner starting next week for a $25 gift certificate just for watching the Northern Kentucky Programming Network, our fine bowling show. Here's Sandi Sexton looking at the bucket.
Pulled it again and leaves. Leaves the 3, 5, 6, 9. That's a left-hander's bucket.
A little bit about Sandi Sexton. She's married, has 2 children. Angie, 18, Kathy, 14. Her husband's name's Jerry. And that was an excellent
perfect
shot.
with it. Right on it. That's a tough conversion.
Sandi bowls over Cherokee Bowl, and also here at Dixie. She bowls in the Pioneer League with the Saturday night openers, and here at Dixie, the Dixie Queens. And that's a fitting name for Sandi.
Definitely. We've got a 12-pin difference in the match here, Nick. Sandi with a 116 in the 5th on a spare. Rosie with a 104. And she leaves the 5-8. Rosie has a 104 in the 5th working on a spare.
They had a pretty good turnout once again this week. We had 213 entries. Now that's a face of determination, Doug.
She is really concentrating.
She dropped it a little bit.
Dropped it in the right place. Picks up the spare.
There's a shot of our scoreboard. Sitting over there is Mary Jo DeFauché. That's Bridget's mother. Bridget's still week after week. She's our claim to fame after that 298 scratch she bowled last year.
See Rosie right on the nose. Didn't get away with it. Leaves a 4, 6, 7.
Rosie has been on the program 2 times, and both times she's finished in 3rd.
Well, she's going to have to get started here, or she may do that today.
Just gave it a good shot.
Gave it a shot. Picks up a 4 and a 7. Never see it on replay. She got the 4 to go in behind the 6, but wasn't the proper angle to pick up the 6.
We're in the 7th. Rosie Cornett from over in Union.
Nick, she pulled that one a bunch that time. Missed the head pin completely. Leaves the 1, 3, 5, 6. So Rosie is in trouble right now.
Well, there's still plenty of paper left, as an old wise man once said.
Came up, didn't come up quite enough, leaves the head pin.
The winner of this match will face another veteran, Millie Elliott, who was our high qualifier this week at Dixie.
Look at that concentration, Nick. Right, little heavy in the pocket, kicks the 4 out.
Let's have another one.
Her coach, Leroy Powell, back there, and I heard him say to her as she was walking around.
Here we see it on replay.
He was saying to her, do something on lane 7, and she turned around and looked at him. She said, what do you want me to do, dance? Well, if she wins this match and wins the next, she'll certainly be dancing home with a nice check in her pocket. There's the ball, Mark. Get down, baby.
Another 4 kick out. She's got a double now. Well, and Rosie needs, she needs all 4 strikes here in a nice and 10th frame.
That's just about going to shut Rosie down. And Rosie, I know she's a little frustrated. She looks like she's going to finish at 3rd for a 3rd time.
She pulled it just a little bit again, Nick. Breaks up the split, leaves a 6-10.
But Rosie's out there every week, been on the program, making a little money doing at it. You know, I know now we're past tax times. You can start talking about all the money people are making on this program.
Here we go, cross lane for 6-10. And she just can't buy a break today. Picks the 6 off the 10.
She just turns around and smiles.
She's having the same kind of luck that Bob Hanley had yesterday on the Firestone Tournament of Champions, which Nick and I went up to see yesterday.
We were there.
Quite exciting.
We'll probably be talking about that all day today.
Rosie got it where she wanted it, but is still not driving through on the back end, leaves the 5-pin again.
Yeah, up at the Firestone Tournament, the lights were so bright. We were sitting probably 40 yards away.
Never see on the replay there, Nick.
We were about 40 yards away from the lanes, and you know, I was sweating.
You definitely could feel the heat of the lights. Rosie converts for a spare. But it was amazing to see an ABC network production put together. The equipment they use is unbelievable. And the guy who won it, Mark Williams, he had a charmed life yesterday, didn't he?
Some things are just meant to be. Here's Rosie, final ball. Give her a break.
Gets 7 for a 165.
Rosie Cornett finishes with a 165. Now,
Sandi Sexton will be the winner of our first match here. She just needs to finish out her 10th frame.
Our housewife from over in Morningview. Where's Morningview, Doug?
That's a good question. I know it's in Kenton County, and I think southern Kenton County. Comes a little bit light on the Brooklyn side again. Leaves the 5-6. But the pressure's off her now.
The winner will meet Millie Elliott, sitting somewhere in the wings, or maybe in the game room playing Pac-Man. But she's here. I saw her. We're in the 10th frame. Sandi Sexton, our winner of this first match.
Goes cross lane for it, and she picks it up. Great shot.
That was a great shot. There's only one place to put the ball there, Douglas. That is a strike, a split.
That's exactly what she did. She put it exactly between them. Great conversion there. With a strike here, she could wind up with a 222 if my math is correct.
Your math, Doug, for change is correct. Here's Sandy, a 2:21. So Sandi Sexton's 2:21 is too much for Rosie's 1:65. And Sandi Sexton will move on to our championship match, Week 5, Dixie Lanes in Covington, Northern Kentucky, BPA Merit Tournament. Yes, it is a mouthful, but we'll be back with the conclusion right after this.